We were getting a little bit hungry, so Norm decided that we should go out and catch some fish. Here we are steaming out. It's a great day for it too. What a beautiful bright day to be out on the ocean. We're in Conception Bay right now. Got a fish finder on the boat, but Norm has a few places that he knows where to go. Everybody's out here fishing. Everybody's having a great time. Great friendly bunch of people. Here's our fish that we caught. Not bad. We got 15. There's the biggest one. Perry caught the biggest one. Norm's holding it up right there. Then we're back home, deep frying the fish. I was too busy eating fish. I didn't start shooting until the fish were almost gone. But these are delicious fish. A little bit of salt on there, and they're just wonderful. Look at that. That's fresh fish. That's delicious fresh codfish. Now, that night we went out for ice cream at our usual spot to watch the sunset, and in the morning we headed off to drive the Irish Loop. My plan was to head up to St. Vincent's Beach and see if we could find the whales up there. St. Vincent's is a place where the whales play in the harbor, and they apparently scratch on the bottom, and they like to come there, and there's pictures of lots of whales there all at the same time. On the way I took a few pictures. This was amazing. It'd been raining heavily, and they must have just opened the dam here. This is sort of a hydroelectric project there, and they must have got too much water, so they opened it. I've never seen this kind of action at these falls ever before. Not that I'm here every day, but I've been here a few times. Look at that. Wowee. It's amazing. I find it amazing anyway. Like I said, I don't see things like this where I come from. Wow. Now there in the distance you can see the pipeline where, is my understanding, the water goes down that into a turbine down on the bottom, and that's what generates the power. But here we got a nice picture with the sun there, and it's just a beautiful picture. A little bit of an HDR. The power of the water, wow. You can just imagine all the power it generates, and there's no waste. Beautiful trees here. We're pulling into Fairyland now, and I got a few pictures of my favorite boats there. We didn't hike in Fairyland. I was kind of tired, but if you go up there to the lighthouse, you'll see whales off the shore too a lot of times. Back on the road, now you can see we're getting some bumpy action on the road, and that's for sure. No lie about that. Stopped in Torres Cove. This is the Red House. I've heard about this house. I've seen it on the ferry, and I never got to find it, so this time I made a point to go off the route and look for the Red House in Torres Cove. And this is it. It looks like it's undergoing some major renovations. Look at the interesting door here. I mean, wow, it's very interesting. And it's definitely red. This is St. Vincent's Beach. This is what we're here for. There's a whale or two off in the distance. As I pulled in, I saw a whale doing a roll and putting its flukes out, but all I could see were these two little whales out there in the distance, and there was talk about fog rolling in, so I wanted to head to Cape St. Mary's before I missed that. So check out our video on Cape St. Mary's Bird Sanctuary. It's just wonderful. We decided to go back to St. Vincent's Beach again. We were back in Conception Bay for a while, and then I thought we should make another attempt to drive the Irish Loop and get up to the beach and see what we could find. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're headed up to St. Vincent's Beach again. You never know what's going to happen with the weather. You know, you watch the weather forecasts and hope for the best. Now, Norm told me you want to have a north wind when you go up to Cape St. Vincent's, because if it's a southern wind, it's going to come in off the water and it's going to bring fog in. And what do I see in the distance? I'm seeing fog in my future, that's for sure. Some fog off in the distance. Now the fog is not in the distance. The fog is on my windshield. The road's a bit rough in places. Lots and lots of fog. Gotta be careful. I mean, you want to know that you can see the right-hand side of the road. You got your lights on. Watch for any lights. We're pulling into the beach now. I don't know what's going to happen. Somebody moved out of there and left me a good spot, so I just pulled straight up there. You want to watch. You don't want to get stuck in a place like this, because if you get on the sand, you know, you could be in trouble. And there's what I saw or didn't see. But it's amazing anyway to see waves like this and the fog rolling in. I mean, look at the power. I mean, wow, soothing to be there. Just listen to the waves. And with weather like this, I can't really take any pictures, so I'm not under any pressure. I just have to wait for things to clear off. Here's some people enjoying the shore. This is a really long lens. You can see the waves off in the distance. Wow, it's foggy with a light drizzle kind of thing, almost a wet fog, and it was like that all day yesterday, so it's going to be like it all day today. We got a lot of work done yesterday, a lot of video editing. We got a lot of video editing done, but it's time to hit the road again. There you see it, a whale's playground. This is a photograph, this is not a painting. You can see the heads of 4 or 5 whales there. Beautiful. I didn't get to see that. Now we're headed out. We're going to go back to town. 2 days of rain and fog was about all we could handle, and it was going to be, looked like that for about a week. So we're driving down the road again. Like I said, you want to watch the right-hand side of the road. Make sure you don't go off the road. Make sure you're watching for headlights in the distance. Uh-oh. Overheated. I finally figured out what's been happening. Had a really tiny coolant leak, and what happens is the coolant would leak out over about 3 weeks, and then the thing would overheat. So I'm in a position now of leaving the rad cap loose and just keeping an eye on the water, and it's not leaking very much at all without pressure, but when I get back to Ontario, we're going to have to change the oil cooler, I think, and a couple of small hoses that go to the oil cooler. Probably going to do a modification. Look at this here, wowee, the rocks and the shoreline. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's just beautiful. Then we saw this old bridge. We had to stop here and see what we could do with that. I found some interesting angles on it, I think. Mary changed some of the pictures into black and white with various filters, infrared filter, different things to make it look interesting. Look at that old bridge, my goodness. Things were beautiful. The way they made things then were just beautiful. And Look at it in black and white. Lots of fine detail. There's Mary up on the bridge, way tiny. Pulled into Dildo Harbor. Now, like I said, there's a really nice washroom there in Dildo on the harbor. And there's some beautiful boats. I mean, just absolutely stunning. Look at that yellow and blue and white. I mean, wowee. There's the Why Not again. Love that boat. Wow. These are the sea stacks. This is called Shag Rock. Now at Shag Rock there's a nice little picnic table where we would stop and make breakfast. So on 2 different occasions people stopped and gave us free fish. Look at this lesser yellow legs here, right out by this ship. We parked there several times to photograph the birds. There's a pair of eagles here, always hunting. Look at the watchful eye on that eagle. Amazing. A ruddy turnstone here. Look at what a pretty bird. There's a tern catching a fish. All under the watchful eye of the osprey.